Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to do a simple cloud server and put it behind a firewall so that it's nice and secure. So hope you're ready to get started. We're going to get going right now. Okay, here we are on the Linode website. If you don't have an account yet, you can easily set one up for free. There's a link below that'll give you 60 days and $100 to test it out and see if it is a service that you would be interested in. So in our instance, we're just going to create a simple server and put it behind a firewall. So in order to do that, we'll just click on Create Linode. We'll scroll on down to Ubuntu 22.04, which as of the time of this video is the latest long-term support. We'll select the region we want to be in. Typically, you want to pick something that's fairly close to where you are. In my instance, it'll be Dallas. And then we're going to select the plan we want to use. If we select shared CPU, the one we're going to go with is just the Linode. It's 1 gig of RAM, 1 CPU, 25 gigs of storage space, which is going to be plenty for our use. We're just creating a simple web server right now. If later you need more, you can either create a new Linode or you can upgrade the one that you have. So it's really flexible with the way that they have things set up. We'll then scroll on down to where you can name Linode. This is a great way for you to differentiate between your different servers. So once you start getting multiple servers out there, you'll start to create a list, and this will help you with easily identifying what's out there. We'll then create a password. You want to make sure that it's something that's secure, or else it won't let you continue. I'm not going to go with SSH keys right now. We're just going to use passwords for this one. Later, we may show how to set up SSH keys for SSH connectivity, but for right now, we're just going to do a simple connection with passwords. Below that, we're not going to do anything with the VPC at this time. We will set up a firewall, but we're going to do that in the next step instead of right now. And then the last part is backups. I always recommend getting backups for $2 a month. It's very worth the avoiding of headaches that you would get if you don't have them. So we'll throw backups in there. We don't need a private IP in this instance. And the result will be about $7 a month for this one server that we're going to set up. So we'll just click Create Node. Okay, once we clicked Create Linode, it starts provisioning everything. In just a moment, it'll start booting up and we'll be ready to go. So you'll be able to see here in this detail page, you're going to be able to see all the information we set up before, the 1 CPU core, 1 gig of RAM, 25 gigs of storage space, the IP address of your server, how you can do SSH access. In this case, we're just going to SSH in as root, which is not a best practice, but we'll do that for this example. Then going forward, you can make other accounts and SSH in securely. All right, so you see that it's up and running now, so we're ready to go. The one thing is, though, that this server is wide open. So every single thing is available for this, so we want to put it behind a firewall. In order to do that, we're going to go over here to Firewalls, hit Create Firewall, and then we're going to just name it whatever we want to call it. So we're going to call it What's New Andrew. We're going to select the Linodes. The one we just created was this one here, so we're going to make sure we have that included. And we're going to hit Create Firewall. So here's your new firewall. We'll go into it and we'll see what's set up. So as you notice right now, it says the default inbound policy is to accept everything. So we're going to go ahead and drop everything and hit Save Changes. So now you cannot access this server through SSH, through HTTP, through HTTPS, through any means. It's all blocked. So what we need to do is add some inbound rules. By doing it this way, we default to not letting anybody do anything, and then we can add in the specific things we care about. So the first thing we're going to add is an inbound rule for SSH. And it's pretty nice. It's got a preset setup for that. So you just add in accept inbound SSH. We're going to use TCP for the protocol. Obviously, it's going over port 22. And right now, it's going to be open to everybody that's out there. So one thing I recommend is limiting this to just your IP address. So if you know what your IP address is, we'd go in here and we'd say whatever it is. So this is not going to be your local IP address, so a 192.168. This is going to be your home IP address. So if you go looking at somewhere like What's My IP or even Google My IP address, it's going to give that to you. So you'll go ahead and put that in there now, and you'll want to end it with the 32. So by doing that, it just limits it to just this IP address. Now this isn't a real IP address, just numbers I put in there. But what we'll do is we'll hit accept. And so now if you're coming in from this IP address here, it's going to let it go through. Everybody else is going to block. So it's a good way to limit who can actually get to this server. And so we're going to have that set up, be ready to go. And so now what you have done is you've created your very first cloud server. We'll go back over here with this IP address that's now behind a firewall with the SSH port opened, but only allowing it from your home IP address. So the next thing we'll want to do is SSH in, do some updates, and then start adding some software to it. Okay, so that's how simple it is to set up a brand new server, get it up and running, and have it sitting out on the cloud for under $10 a month. This server can be used for anything from running WordPress, different applications. We'll give examples of that in other videos and how you can not only open up ports to be able to get web traffic in, but even access this without opening ports and make it even more secure. If you enjoyed the video, if you did, feel free to subscribe so you can get notified of new videos. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below.